Well, thanks for clicking on this site, and thanks for spending the time to think about Digital Britain. I've been thinking about little else for the last 6 or 7 months, ever since the Prime Minister asked me to take on this brief. And the Digital Britain team has been working over the period, across industry, across the country, trying to understand the challenges and the opportunities for the digital technology and communications industries. We've published an interim report, and we're now working to the final report, which we published before the summer. In and amongst all the news of financial challenges and financial disasters, governments across the world are looking to the future. They're looking to growth, they're looking to opportunities, they're looking to the future industries. And in many countries around the world, the digital technologies are a source of future growth and opportunity. And nowhere is that more so than here in the United Kingdom. We are world leaders in many aspects of the creative and communications industries. We have significant and competitive market expertise in everything from digital satellite to mobile telephony to online content, television, broadcasting, production, advertising design, and many others. The purpose of the Digital Britain report is to try and bring together in one place a set of recommendations and actions which will allow us to maximise our competitive position. It covers as much as it can cover in the time available, and inevitably it raises some questions about where the markets meet government ambition and where public intervention meets private enterprise. We've identified 5 primary objectives of the report, and we have started by focusing on the infrastructure. What is the infrastructure, or as I've called it, the plumbing that we as a country need in order to be able to have competitive capability in these markets? Obviously that is a question that is relevant to our fixed infrastructure capabilities as well as our mobile infrastructure capabilities. And once we have decided how best to approach both wireline and wireless technologies, we then have to ask ourselves the question, how do we best exploit them? Public service delivery online, or the digitalisation of public services, is an enormous prize both for us and for other countries. UK content, not just traditional broadcasting content, important though that is, but online content. Online content that speaks to us as a country but also speaks to the rest of the world in a way that's relevant to the new distribution mediums, as well as can be used in a more traditional way. And then there are some very important questions around competency, education, skills, media literacy, and legality, frameworks, safeguards, signposting and guidance. And how do we get the balance right between providing this hopefully soon super fast networked world with some guidance as to how to use the services, the applications, and access the content, whether you're a child or a fully legal adult. All of these questions we're looking at together because they are connected, and the sense of connection has become clearer as the debate has gathered momentum. We deliberately published an interim report earlier this year in order to provoke that debate. We had some clear recommendations in some areas, and in other areas we asked questions, we asked for input, we asked for response, and we've seen much of that response, interestingly, online as well as in physical form. There's a closing date for responses, the 12th of March, not because at that point our minds are made up, but to allow us to have the time to then digest and reflect upon what people have said. The online debate, of course, happens much more immediately and much more continuously, and in that sense is informing our thinking in a very real way on a day-to-day basis. This forum will be a place where people can share ideas and comment, both on the text of the interim report, on the overall objectives, on the ambition that we as a country should have in this area. I have a very simple view personally, and that is that if we wish to be one of the leading industrial nations of this century, we have to have both the network capability, the connectivity, the content, and the capabilities to be able to exploit that. And that there is a role for government, not to provide it all, indeed far from it, but there is a role for government in framing the ambition, in making changes where changes are necessary to the regulatory framework, and in many instances simply getting out of the way to allow enterprise, industry and private capital to be able to enter into the market and take advantage of the opportunities that there are. Someone once said to me that to observe interesting things can be interesting, but to participate in interesting things can be invigorating. I would encourage as many people as possible to participate. This is a real and open opportunity for people to contribute to the development of policy and government's approach to these critical industries. If people don't participate, if they merely have privately held, passionate views that allow them to disagree with the outcomes when they finally are decided, well, that seems to me to be a waste. If you have views, if you have analysis, if you have experience, please share it with us. We will do our bit to listen to it and hopefully do our best to come up with the right set of answers.